So here's an interesting thing. I received this in the email from the Food and Drug Administration, certain alerts. Anyone can receive these alerts from the FDA or any of the federal agencies. If you so happen to check off whatever you want to receive. And so this is about batteries. Now, this has to do with Vuse Vibe, VUSE Vibe, but they're still talking about batteries and a recall of these batteries. If they could do it to this particular company, they certainly could do it to Samsung, Sony, whatever have you. Rather interesting. Or even an internal battery mod. Just like a word of caution, nothing to get you panicky out there or anything, but just something interesting. So this is April 13, 2018. And the caption reads, let me make that just a little bit bigger. I mean, this is one way the FDA certainly can start the whole process of battery standards. So like it says here, a company announcement. When a company announces a recall, market withdrawal, or safety alert, the FDA posts the company's announcement as a public service. FDA does not endorse either the product or the company. Now, this is the company doing it, okay? And that, I believe it is R.J. Reynolds. Yeah, R.J. Reynolds, which is doing this recall, this particular Vuse Vibe closed system, right? So the FDA is required by law to post it, okay? But what happens, let's flip that around, and let's say something happens with an internal battery mod like from Innokin or Joytech or whoever. And they decide over there in China not to do a recall. But the FDA, on the other hand, decides there must be a recall. And they certainly have the power to do that, by the way. In fact, you'll see that in this particular release from the FDA. So it says urgent voluntary product recall of Vuse Vibe power units for immediate release. Announcement. R.J. Reynolds Vapor Company has voluntarily initiated a nationwide safety recall of all Vuse Vibe power units. The company initiated the recall after receiving consumer complaints about malfunctioning batteries, which may cause the power unit to overheat and create a fire risk. The company notified the U.S. Food and Drug Administration regarding the issue and will be working directly with the agency on this voluntary recall. Now, this is a voluntary recall. You know, the FDA certainly has power. Yes, they do in regards to these mods because, quote unquote, they're considered tobacco products. The FDA can initiate themselves a product recall. They do it all the time, by the way, especially when it comes to food, comes to restaurants, things of that nature. Because the U.S. Food and Drug Administration's underneath the United States Health and Human Services Department, they certainly, because they're under that particular main department of the federal government, they have the power to recall whatever they want, not want, but anytime they need to, or when they have a complaint. And like it says, the company has received 10 complaints related to the power unit. 10 complaints. And no injuries have been reported. So you don't even have to have an injury, but you just have to have 10 complaints, and all of a sudden the company's recalling. Now, the FDA, you flip it around, the FDA can have 10 complaints, no injuries reported, and recall all the Innokin products or Joytech or whatever have you. You can say to Samsung or Sony or whoever, you must recall your batteries from vape shops or online vendors. Just an idea. Not that they will, not saying that they will, but it shows you that the FDA has the power to do so. Now, this is a voluntary recall from R.J. Reynolds Vapor Company. Like I said, the FDA does have the power to do a recall if it so happened to consider it needs to be done. So it goes on to say the company is voluntarily recalling the 2.6 million power units it has sold. And these are the ones that have been sold. So consumers will, I guess, give them back to R.J. Reynolds. I don't know. And I'm sure anything that's on the market also will be returned. The company is investigating the cause of the incidents with the intent to return to the market after the issue has been resolved. So they're going to recall everything, especially even the ones that have been sold. And then once they correct the situation, then they will be able to market the product again, at least up until August 8th of 2022. All consumers who have used Vibe vapor products should stop using the product and not charge the power unit. Please call blah, 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 or visit what you see for information on how to return used Vibe power units and receive a full refund. So you can get a refund, or J. Reynolds is willing to give you a refund. The company is committed to providing products of the highest quality, and we regret the inconvenience this will cause our consumers. So apparently, they put this information together, R.J. Reynolds, gave it to the FDA, and the FDA is alerting the public about this. It says R.J. Reynolds Vapor Company is a subsidiary of RAI Innovations Company, a subsidiary of Reynolds American Incorporated. Reynolds American Incorporated is an indirect, wholly owned subsidiary of British American Tobacco. I guess that's public license company. Now, R.J. Reynolds, or private, it could be, it's either private or public license company, whatever, it doesn't matter. Or I don't know, business name, initials, whatever. R.J. Reynolds Vapor Company markets, reviews e-cigarettes, and then they show the photo of it. Show you a photo. I don't have a Vibe. I don't know if you guys do. Maybe you guys do. Show a picture of it. So the point that I'm making with this video, now, of course, the R.J. Reynolds Vapor Company this is a voluntary situation, and the FDA certainly can have other vapor companies also initiate voluntary recalls or whatever have you. But once again, by federal law, the FDA itself can initiate a recall. So this could very well be one of the ways. I'm not saying it is the way, but it certainly can be one of the ways that the FDA controls or manages or handles batteries in general, be it internal batteries like this particular unit, the Vuse Vibe, or like the eLeaf iStick 50 watt or something similar to that. And there are many newer products even that have internal batteries or external batteries. Your 18650s, your 2700s, your 21700s, your 18350s, whatever have you. All the FDA has to say to Sony, Samsung, or Sanyo, or whoever, eFest or whatever, because of these complaints that we have received, even though There have been no injuries. No injuries at all. We are asking your company to recall millions of batteries because of these complaints about the power unit, or these complaints, like it says, may cause the power unit to overheat and create risk. The key is this, more than anything, is malfunctioning batteries. Malfunctioning batteries, which have to do with the charging of the product. It's like it says not charge the power unit. So either it has to do with the charging of the power unit, or just because the batteries are malfunctioning. Now, who determines what a battery is when it? Who determines a malfunctioning battery? Especially considering you have no injuries. Very interesting, very dicey. So I just wanted to share this with you. If you so happen to have a Vuse Vibe vapor product, I don't think you do out there, but at least not us hardcore subscribers slash vapors. But if you do, you might make a couple bucks by returning it, or whatever they give you. But it's just the idea. And if the company, the vapor company, does not do it, or the battery manufacturer does not do it, the U.S. Food and Drug Administration may very well do it and initiate a recall of Sony batteries, Sanyo, Samsung. It's just one other tool in the FDA's arsenal to really dismantle the entire vaping world that we have come to love and cherish over many years now. Or if you're a newbie, the last months or last weeks or days or hours. It's something that we have come to love and cherish, and this is just one way the FDA can very well begin a process of eliminating internal as well as external batteries from the entire vaping industry / community. So I just want to share this with you for whatever it's worth to you. And you guys have a good one. Bye.